The story begins in a quiet, unassuming town where the most exciting thing that ever happens is the occasional passing of a delivery truck or the distant rumble of thunder from an approaching storm. This is the world of Joe, an introverted rocket mechanic who has spent his entire life living quietly and alone. Joe is a man of routine, a man of solitude. A man who finds comfort in the predictable hum of machinery and the familiar rhythm of his work. He wakes up at the same time every morning, eats the same breakfast, walks the same route to work, and spends his days surrounded by the cold, reliable metal of rockets and engines. He is brilliant at what he does, a master of his craft. But he is utterly hopeless when it comes to matters of the heart. He has never been good at connecting with people, never been good at expressing his feelings, never been good at letting anyone in. He has built walls around himself, walls that have kept him safe, but walls that have also kept him lonely. Joe's workshop is his sanctuary, a cluttered but organized space filled with tools, blueprints, and half-finished projects. He spends countless hours here, tinkering with engines, perfecting designs, and losing himself in the intricate dance of gears and pistons. It is the only place where he feels truly comfortable, truly himself. The outside world is a confusing and overwhelming place, full of unpredictable people and awkward social interactions. Joe prefers the company of machines, which are logical, predictable, and never judge him. But Joe's quiet, solitary existence is about to be turned upside down. A revolutionary new project is underway. A project that will change the course of human history. The world's first ever plant-fueled rocket is being developed, and Joe has been selected to work on it. It is the opportunity of a lifetime, a chance to be part of something truly groundbreaking. But it also means working with other people, collaborating with brilliant minds, and stepping out of his comfort zone. Fran is a brilliant and passionate astro-botanist who has dedicated her life to the study of plants and their potential to revolutionize space travel. She is a visionary, a pioneer, a woman who is not afraid to take risks and push boundaries. She believes that the future of space exploration lies in sustainable, plant-based fuel. And she has spent years developing the technology to make it a reality. Fran is confident, outgoing, and fiercely determined. She is everything that Joe is not. Fran's journey has not been easy. She has faced countless obstacles, skeptical colleagues, and limited funding. But she has persevered, driven by a deep belief in her mission and a passion for the natural world. She sees the beauty and potential in plants that others overlook, and she is determined to unlock their power for the benefit of all humanity. When Joe and Fran are brought together to prepare for the inaugural launch of this revolutionary rocket, the sparks are immediate. They are drawn to each other, fascinated by each other's brilliance and passion. Joe is captivated by Fran's confidence, her intelligence, and her unwavering determination. He has never met anyone like her. Fran is intrigued by Joe's quiet intensity, his deep knowledge, and his gentle nature. She sees past his awkwardness and introversion, recognizing the kind, brilliant, and deeply caring man beneath the surface. But neither of them is particularly adept at romance. Joe is awkward and tongue-tied, struggling to express his feelings. He fumbles his words, blushes at the slightest compliment, and second-guesses every interaction. Fran is direct and forward, sometimes coming on too strong. She has never been good at playing games or hiding her feelings. Their interactions are a delightful mix of awkward silences, fumbled words, and genuine connection. One day, while working together on the rocket, Fran notices Joe blushing. She teases him about it, and Joe is mortified. He insists that he doesn't blush, that he has never blushed in his entire life. But Fran knows better. She has seen the way he looks at her. The way his cheeks flush when she compliments his work. She finds it adorable, and she begins to understand that Joe is not just a brilliant mechanic. He is also a kind, sensitive, and deeply caring man. Joe asks Fran out to lunch, stammering through the invitation. Fran, to his surprise, suggests dinner instead. Joe is taken aback. He was prepared for a casual lunch, a safe and low-pressure interaction. But dinner is something else entirely. It is a real date, a romantic outing, a step into the unknown. He agrees, his heart pounding with nervous excitement. Their first dinner is a delightful disaster. Joe arrives early, spends 30 minutes worrying about what to wear, and ends up wearing the same thing he always wears. Fran arrives late, apologizing profusely, explaining that she was lost in her work. They spend the first 10 minutes awkwardly trying to make conversation, struggling to find common ground. But eventually, the conversation flows. They talk about their work, their dreams, their fears. They discover that they have more in common than they ever expected. They both love their work, they both believe in the power of science, and they both feel a little bit lonely. As the evening unfolds, Joe and Fran grow closer. They share their hopes and fears, their insecurities and their dreams. Joe tells Fran about his childhood, his love of machines, and his difficulty connecting with people. Fran tells Joe about her passion for plants, her struggles as a woman in a male-dominated field, and her dream of making the world a better place. They realize that they are not so different after all. They are both passionate, driven, and a little bit lonely. They are both searching for connection, for understanding, for someone who sees them for who they truly are. But their budding romance is complicated by the arrival of 3 unexpected visitors. Dunk, Welly, and Shirm are tiny, unruly, and adorable aliens who have crash-landed on Earth. They are on the interplanetary run from a zealous-yet-inept officer of the law named Zandro, who is determined to capture them and bring them to justice for unknown crimes. The aliens take refuge in Joe's home, hiding from their pursuer and trying to figure out how to get back home. Dunk is the leader of the trio, a bold and adventurous alien who is always coming up with crazy plans. He is fearless, resourceful, and utterly convinced that he can talk his way out of any situation. Welly is the nervous one, constantly worried about getting caught and always thinking of the worst-case scenario. He is a worrywart, a pessimist, and a hypochondriac, but he is also loyal and caring. Shirm is the sweet and innocent one, who sees the best in everyone and just wants to go home. She is kind, gentle, and endlessly optimistic. Together, they are a chaotic, lovable, and completely adorable trio that turns Joe's quiet life upside down. Joe is initially terrified of the aliens. He has never encountered extraterrestrial life before, and he has no idea what to do. He hides in his workshop, convinced that he is hallucinating or dreaming. But the aliens are persistent. They follow him around, chattering in their strange language, and begging for his help. Joe eventually realizes that they are not dangerous. They are just scared, lost, and desperate to get home. His kind heart takes over, and he decides to help them. The aliens determine that Fran's rocket could provide their means of getting back home to safety. If they can just get aboard the rocket, they can use its revolutionary plant fuel to travel back to their own planet. But getting aboard the rocket is not going to be easy. They have to evade Zandro, who is closing in on them. And they have to convince Joe and Fran to help them without revealing their secret. Joe is torn. He wants to help the aliens, but he also doesn't want to jeopardize the rocket launch or put Fran in danger. He keeps the aliens a secret from Fran, not knowing how she will react. He tries to balance his growing feelings for Fran with his responsibility to the aliens, and it is a constant struggle. But Fran is perceptive. She senses that something is different about Joe. That he is hiding something. He is distracted, nervous, and secretive. She confronts him, and Joe reluctantly reveals the truth. He expects Fran to be angry, to be scared, to run away. But Fran is not like that. She is a scientist, a woman of curiosity and wonder. She is fascinated by the aliens, intrigued by their technology, and touched by their plight. She agrees to help them. Together, Joe and Fran must find a way to get Dunk, Welly, and Shirm aboard the rocket without anyone finding out. They must outsmart Zandro, who is relentless in his pursuit. And they must navigate their growing feelings for each other, which are becoming more complicated by the day. Zandro is a bumbling but determined officer of the law. He is convinced that the aliens are dangerous criminals, and he will stop at nothing to capture them. He has tracked them across the galaxy, and he is not about to give up now. He is incompetent, often making silly mistakes and getting himself into trouble, but he is also persistent and cunning. He will not be easily shaken off. Joe and Fran's plan is risky. They have to sneak the aliens into the rocket facility, hide them inside the rocket, and launch it before Zandro can stop them. It is a race against time. A high-stakes game of cat and mouse that will test their courage, their ingenuity, and their trust in each other. The mission is fraught with danger. Joe and Fran are almost caught multiple times. They have to think on their feet, improvise, and work together as a team. They discover that they make a great team, that their skills complement each other perfectly. Joe's mechanical expertise and Fran's scientific brilliance are a powerful combination. As they work together, Joe and Fran grow closer. They share their fears, their dreams, and their secrets. They realize that they are not just colleagues or partners. They are something more. They are falling in love. The aliens, meanwhile, have grown fond of Joe and Fran. They have come to see them as friends, protectors, and even family. They are grateful for the help and determined to make sure that Joe and Fran find happiness together. Dunk, the leader, gives Joe a piece of advice. Don't be afraid to tell her how you feel. Life is too short to live with regrets. Welly, the nervous one, adds, and don't forget to check your fuel levels. That's important too. In the final act, Joe and Fran succeed. They get the aliens aboard the rocket, launch it into space, and send Dunk, Welly, and Shirm home. It is a bittersweet moment. They are happy that the aliens are safe. But they are also sad to see them go. They have formed a bond with these tiny, chaotic creatures, a bond that will last a lifetime. But Zandro is not done yet. He arrives at the rocket facility just as the rocket is launching, determined to stop the aliens from escaping. Joe and Fran must confront him and protect their friends. They stand together, facing the alien officer, refusing to back down. Zandro demands that Joe and Fran surrender the aliens. He threatens them with arrest, with imprisonment, with deportation to a distant galaxy. But Joe and Fran stand firm. They tell Zandro that the aliens are not criminals, that they are just lost, scared, and trying to get home. They tell him that they will not let him hurt them. Zandro is taken aback by their courage. He has never encountered humans who were willing to stand up to him. He is confused, frustrated, and a little bit impressed. He threatens them again. But Joe and Fran do not waver. Just as Zandro is about to attack, Joe has an idea. He knows that Zandro is obsessed with the aliens, but he also knows that Zandro is a bureaucrat. He suggests that Zandro file a formal complaint with the Intergalactic Council of Alien Affairs, a process that would take years and years of paperwork. Zandro is horrified by the prospect of endless bureaucracy. He hesitates, and in that moment of hesitation, Joe and Fran make a break for it. They escape Zandro and launch the rocket. The aliens are safe. They are on their way home. Joe and Fran watch the rocket disappear into the sky, a brilliant streak of light against the dark canvas of the night. They are proud of what they have accomplished. They have saved the aliens, protected their friends, and proven that love and courage can overcome any obstacle. Joe and Fran are left alone, standing in the aftermath of the launch. They look at each other, and they know that they have found something special. They have found each other. They have found love. The story ends with Joe and Fran standing together, looking up at the stars. They have been through so much together, but they have come out stronger. They have proven that love can blossom in the most unexpected places, that connection can bridge even the greatest divides, and that even the most introverted heart can find its match. Joe reaches for Fran's hand, and she takes it. They smile at each other, their eyes full of hope and love. They have the rocket, they have each other, and they have a future full of possibility. They are not alone anymore. They have each other. Joe and Fran share a kiss under the stars, a kiss that seals their bond and promises a future together. The story ends with them walking away, hand in hand, ready to face whatever comes next. They have learned that love is not about being perfect. It is about being brave enough to open your heart, even when you are scared. It is about finding someone who sees you for who you truly are and loves you anyway. And as they walk away, Joe and Fran know that they are not alone. They have each other. And they have the love that they have found. It is a love that is as powerful as any rocket, as enduring as any star, and as beautiful as any plant. It is a love that will last a lifetime.